Thank you, Timothy. Nobody says that California poets or any poets have to agree. In fact, I think one of the things you find in the book as you go through 65 years of poetry is that poets often don't agree with themselves, let alone with other people. And this is a story actually from X.J. Kennedy told me. Somebody said to him, "I can't stand writing formal poetry. It won't let me say what I want to say." Kennedy said, "Yes!" That's exactly what's good about it. David St. John said he was coming and then something came up and he was not able to come, unfortunately. But I'm going to read to you what he would have read. There's always a strong countercurrent in American poetry. Sometimes calling someone a West Coast writer is meant to be pejorative. It's meant to say they're not serious, they don't work hard enough. But I think it's also sometimes said with a kind of envy. What's entertaining, of course, is that half the people you meet in LA are from Manhattan, and they've all come out to escape that. More than anything else, I think the West Coast sensibility has to do with a sense of permission that writers feel to work outside of the normal channels or forms of literary pressure that I think is felt actually much more profoundly felt living in the East. Certainly, I felt it far more profoundly there. I'm one of the people who always believed that LA had a strong poetry scene. When I arrived 13 years ago, a lot of interesting, hardworking, dedicated poets were already here. I think San Francisco tends to get more East Coast attention, especially as so many of the Bay Area poets have aligned themselves with language poetry. Before that, with the St. Mark's School. And because a number of those people came out from New York to live in San Francisco and in Salinas, obviously. But for me, Los Angeles has always been fiercely independent. The poets here developed a kind of strong, quirky, idiosyncratic voice that I think is really unique. I think that stylistically, I'm just lost in my own sense of conflict today from poem to poem and book to book. But I have to say that the idea of humor in poetry has begun to interest me a lot. A sense of that Beckett-like dark humor I like seeing in poems. There's been more a sort of vaudevillian humor of someone like Jim Tate. But both Jim Tate and Charles Simic are very dark at the edges, obviously. That really interests me. It's the darkness of the humor in these poems. And I'm going to read you Merck. I thought I had it here, but I don't. It's in the book. This is a poem by David St. John. You'll see why I wanted it to be part of the program. Merck. But of course you'd like to fuck Ophelia. Isn't that the whole point, she asked? Her own skin as white as trout belly, and nearly as translucent in the liquid light the moon lets slide into her window. Just imagine me like that, she said. The emerald and silver bed of slime beneath me, the sickening water lapping at my thighs. But unlike your floating Ophelia, I'll be naked. My hair a dab red fan, and even the flowers at my nipples will come. Beneath the lily pads, as you bend over me, anxious to spread my legs until the whole world of my death draws you to its embrace. The darkness of the humor in that poem. Merck.